people who do not even condemn acts which are wrong to begin with. They were to commit sins in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Those sins are justified. They could be oppressing other nations or other people, but this oppression to them is not seen as anything bad. They fail to see the ugliness of sin and the ugliness of oppression.
A major world war will happen, like the other two world wars have been in Europe. This final world war has been emphasized the most upon, like the Second World War started between two countries, and it developed into becoming a war between 76 countries.
You find that one of these greatest signs that the mu'min needs to be aware of that indicate the imminent dhuhur of the 12th Imam is that within the month of Jamad Thani and the month of Shahrul Rajab, the period of Raj'ah begins, where certain people are resurrected from the grave in order to be a part of the Ansar and the Ashab of the 12th Imam.
And the highest number of supporters of the 12th Imam in terms of high-ranking supporters will also come from Qom. Some have mentioned out of the 313, 38 will be from Qom. Even you, meaning the Shias, the followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, you will go through a net, meaning you will be tried in belief, and many of you will not go through, and only the purest will go through. So many of them will remain at the top of the net. He says that's not only just once, it will happen again and then again. At each trial, many will fail and remain. So it is not that every follower of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam will go through. Even followers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam will fail.
In some narrations, the appearance of Yamani is mentioned as one of the certain signs of 12 Imams' reappearance. The 5th Shia Imam, Muhammad al-Baqir, described the Yamani in detail in a hadith. Among these individuals, Sufyani, Yamani and Khurasani, the Yamani is the closest to guidance, for he calls the people to join the Hujjatullah al-Mahdi. When he rises, the trading of weapons will be prohibited for every Muslim. When he rises, join him immediately, for his flag is the flag of guidance and prosperity, and no Muslim should oppose it. Anyone who does so will go to hell, because the Yamani calls to the right path. Some sources mention that the Yamani and the Khurasani will be allied against the Sufyani.
Basically, Yamani is a righteous person who emerges from Yemen, from the land of Yemen. He calls onto the path of Imam Al-Mahdi, Ajjalallahu ta'ala farajah, and he will carry a banner to support the mission of the Mahdi. Now he appears before the reappearance of Imam Al-Mahdi. Ahadith tell us when you see the Yamani calling to the path of the Mahdi, the Imam ﷺ says, go and join him. No one will guide you like the Yamani will guide you. In fact, Imam Sadiq ﷺ, in one hadith, he states, if you don't join the Yamani, then it's your loss and you will deviate. If you want to make sure that you're on the right path at the time, join the banner of Yamani. He represents the source of guidance, and he's calling on to the path of the Mahdi. And as soon as Imam Al-Mahdi reappears, Yamani will come. He tells him, my master, here's the banner, you lead us. He's a sincere man. He's not a person who's looking for political gains, political interests, or having a political agenda. He sincerely rises to call people to the Mahdi. Now the Yamani and the Sufyani and another person called the Khurasani, they will emerge in one day. In one day, the Sufyani will appear, he will control Syria. Al-Yamani will appear in Yemen, he will mobilize the people to prepare themselves for the Mahdi. And a third person called the Khurasani. Khurasan is this region northeast of Iran and west of Afghanistan. That region we call Khurasan. Mashhad, the city of Imam Al-Rida alayhi salam, is in the province of Khurasan. So there will be another leader, Khurasani. He comes from the line of Imam Hussein alayhi salam. He's from the descendants of Imam Al-Hussein. He will also call on people to support Imam Al-Mahdi. So there are, by the way, that there's some descriptions about the Khurasani. For example, one hadith states that he has a khal in his hand. Khal in Arabic has a number of meanings. One meaning is a mole. You know the mole that people have? He has a distinct mole in his hand. Another meaning is a seal or a sign. There is some sort of interesting sign in his hand that will demonstrate he is the Khurasani. So the emergence of the Yamani is also one of the definite signs. And remember, the hadith states on one day, the Yamani, the Khurasani, the Sufyani will reappear. In one day. This will happen in one day. And even some narrations state that it might be in Rajab. That might happen in the month of Rajab.
According to tradition, two cries will be heard. In the first of them, Gabriel will call the name of Al-Qaim and his father. All people will hear Gabriel's cry in their own language. In a tradition of Jafar al-Sadiq that is narrated by Zurara ibn Ayyan, it is said that after this cry, Satan will call certainly, so and their followers are victorious ones. And his meaning is a man from Banu Umayyah. He adds that the person who makes the first cry says the truth. A pure soul or Nafs-e-Zakiyyah is one of the descendants of Hussein ibn Ali. He will be murdered and is without any sin or crime. According to many narrations, he is the envoy of Hujjatullah al-Mahdi to Makkah before his reappearance. When he will arrive to Makkah and say his message, the people of Makkah slay him around the Kaaba. The sinking of Sufyan's army into the earth is a certain sign of reappearance of Hujjatullah al-Mahdi. In addition to above mentioned hadith of Jafar al-Sadiq, in a hadith Ali ibn Abi Talib mentions that Sufyan's army will sink on the earth.